Welcome to Ladies Keeping It Real. And today our topic is about what can a man do to get his woman back? Again, what can a man do to get his woman back? First thing I think a man can do is that he needs to make the changes that she needs in order for her to trust him and want to take him back. So he needs to make those changes. Don't wait around. Don't procrastinate. Don't be like, it's taking me time to make those changes right away. She knows that she can trust you again. The next thing I think a man needs to do is that if he messes up, he needs to show regret and he needs to show that he has learned from his mistakes. So he has to fully be regretful for it and then show that it won't happen again and that he has learned his lesson. The next thing a man can do is that he can be humble. If she's angry and mad and upset, he needs to be humble and say, I'm sorry, that I understand that, I won't do it again. I apologize. And he needs to stay humble so she can vent and get it out, and she knows that he's really, really not trying to control the situation, that he's more like really understanding that she's angry and he respects that fact that she's angry and allowing her to get through it. The next thing a man can do is that he needs to be honest about the part he played in the breakup. He needs to say, yes, I did X, Y, and Z, and now I learned from that. Again, we're back to the learning, and this won't happen again. So he needs to be honest about the part he played. The next thing a man can do is that he needs to realize how special, how precious she is, and that he would do anything in his power to get her back. And I mean anything in his power to get her back. And lastly, I think a man needs to remember that love starts from the mind. It starts from the mind and then goes to the heart. So whatever he thinks or she thinks about him, she feels it in her heart. So if he tries to make love to her mind, okay, and romance her mind, then her heart will open up to love. All right.
I agree. I think that he needs to be consistent. He needs to apologize sincerely for whatever he did and not do it again. And I think that he needs to over communicate. Like, hey, I'm going to Bebe's house. I'm going to be there for 2 hours. His mother's there. His grandmother's there. His father's there. And his 2 children are there. And his phone number is, I'll be there for 2 hours and I'll be home at such and such time. I think that
yes.
he needs to do extra things.
Yes.
Like consistently send flowers for every Tuesday, or consistently take her on a date every Wednesday, or just be consistent with his actions. And I think that he needs to again over communicate, like email her, text her, Marco Polo her, send her video messages, leave gifts at her door, just over communicate things. Also, I think that he could enlist her friends into helping her out. Like if he sees her friend, he's like, hey, tell such and such that I miss her, I want to get back with her. Just different things like that. So the friends will let her know, hey, I saw so-and-so. I think he should apologize for whatever he did and not do it again. And make sure he's not doing it again. I think he should be patient with her because it's going to take time to win her trust back. And she's going to be reluctant to trust him again. And she might question him. She might test him. She might be she might not believe what he says. So if he's consistent in telling her and proving to her and his actions, she might believe him eventually, but it's going to take time.
Like and subscribe to our channel.
excellent points.
Thank you.
What can a man do to get his woman back? First, let's establish what was done. It could be he cheated, or it could be he spent all the money that y'all both saved. It could be many things. I'm gonna go right now with cheating, okay? Cheating is a big topic that happens. I think we as women need to understand sometimes a man has a different nature than a woman does. Can I pause and say something for a second? Ladies, you know that time of the month, you know, when you are ovulating, it is so necessary to have somebody by your side in those moments. Am I right? Yes. Can you imagine? Now, this happens to you maybe once a month. Can you imagine this happening to a man 20 days out of the month?
No.
Can you imagine? You know how you feel, right? Our nature is different. So let me tell you, when I had a husband and he cheated, my understanding of how a man is helped me to deal with him and not wanting to give him up. The reason why I gave him up is because he kept lying. Can't do that, brothers. Listen, if he was able to tell me the truth about anything, it's Saturday. Where you going, honey? I'm going with Lenny. Okay. The next Saturday, where you going, honey? I'm going with Lenny. And again, it was always Lenny. I think if he would have had changed the name, maybe I'm going with Derek this week, I think we might have been together still. So what a man needs to do after he has cheated and he still wants to be with his significant other, because he has to want. So one that wants to be with you or continue the relationship, he first need to find what it is that makes you calm, cool, and collective. We don't want to put religion and church in this, but for me, it might be going to church on Sunday. What that man needs to do, if he wasn't going to church, is he needs to be by your side now, because this is something that she enjoys doing and it keeps her calm. So when he decides to talk to her after service, maybe she's in a calm state, right? That's one. Another thing he needs to do is stop. He has to stop cheating. You cannot continue cheating. Okay? It has to stop. So, because what another understanding sidebar, men are hurt when they get caught cheating because they hurt you. I believe that. Not because they have a conscience. It's because they got caught. I really believe that. And that's because of their nature, I believe. They got caught. Okay? So if he's sincerely sorry that he hurt me because I found out, okay, he needs to do better. He needs to stop cheating. He needs to make up his mind whether he wants to stop cheating or not. That's number one. So if he wants to stop cheating, I'm going to take that into consideration. How do I know he started cheating? Because I'm not with him 24 hours, 7 days a week, right? So, of course, when he's cheating, what happens? He might not answer the phone.
Right.
He might say he worked a couple of more hours at work, right? Okay, so what he's gonna have to do, he's gonna have to give up some of those hours at work. Okay, they're gonna hurt him. I work too, so we good. And he's gonna have to correspond with me.
Right.
Not every day, or not every hour of the day, okay? But when I do call, he has to take notice. And if he didn't answer, he needs to answer within that hour, at least, to say what was going on. You know, he didn't get a signal. We know what that means too, right?
Yeah, right.
At least he called back this time though. He didn't get a signal, or, you know, he was talking to someone or something. At least he did call. That's another thing he has to do. Another thing he has to do is take interest in how I am inside the house. Okay, that's very important, because you know we two different people. We're different outside and we're different inside. So he has, whatever it is, I might be edgy with something. He has to find out what it is he needs to do to, again, keep me at ease. So maybe he likes playing Jay-Z with hip hop, but that might just irritate my nerves, and he might see I'm a little bit calmer when Shirley Caesar is on. Okay, maybe he could play that for me. So he has to try to smooth the atmosphere. Wait, let me make this clear. How a man gets a woman back and the things he has to do, all that I said prior was actually if y'all was broken up but was still living in the same household and he's trying to get you back. But if you're not in the same household, most of those things still apply. He still needs to be considerate of how you're feeling. He needs to be attentive to your needs. He needs to be apologetic, and he needs to stop cheating. Okay, he has to make up in his mind that he's going to stop cheating. But if he's trying to get you back, most likely he is feeling hurt because, like I said, he hurt you. So he doesn't want to see you hurt. He wants to see the family. He wants to come back into your life, and he just has to work. It's going to be a work, and it's going to be a job for him. And one thing I would have to say, if you are hurt or if I am hurt, he cannot put a time on my pain.
Right.
He has to allow me to heal and in my time. So he might hear something in 6 months or a year. Hopefully I wouldn't bring something up. That's not a part of healing. And plus, if you took him back, you should let it go. But he might hear, well, you know what you did to me, and I'm still hurt. It is not his job to say, man, that was last year. Come on, she ain't even alive no more. Whatever, what I'm saying? But, so he has to be patient with my pain. And he cannot put a timing on my healing.
Yes.
Okay? All right.
This is so true. I think we are consistent in saying that a man needs to put the work in. They need to be patient. They need to allow us time to heal. I think we're consistently saying that. I think we all agree that a man needs to do the work. He needs to give us time to heal. He needs to not pressure us and say, well, this happened a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. It does not matter. We all heal in our own time, and he needs to be patient with us. So we are consistent in that belief. We also believe, or we also say that a man needs to learn from his mistake. Have some sense of regret that he almost lost the best thing that ever happened to him. Mm-hmm. And so he needs to turn around and not only say he's sorry, but he needs to show that he's sorry and show that he's not doing that again. I think we all agreed with that, because trust is important. And if we don't have the trust, then we can't open our hearts to love that man again. So trust is important. So men out there, you need to understand that there's things you need to do to make the woman want to love you again and trust you.
I think forgiveness on both parts is important.
I agree.
I had someone tell me one time, why I cheated, right? But he was crazy. Anyway, he said, why I cheated? I said, why? He said, because you was arguing with me. Really? I mean.
So he in turn is not taking responsibility. He's trying to put it on you. And so thank you for bringing that up. Those are the things that make a woman don't want to be bothered with you, because you're not taking accountability for the part, like we said before, the part you played in the breakup. You're trying to switch it, bait and switch.
Mm-hmm. How can I control your lust? That's just who you are.
I necessarily don't agree with that. I agree that, when a man is mature, when a person is mature, they know what they want, and if they're not mature and they're still trying to chase the skirts and whatnot, they're just not ready. And so you need to kind of make up the mind and say, well, he's not ready. It's not the time. Or maybe I have to wait years later to try to reconnect again. But at this point, he's not ready, so.
Absolutely.
Already said, over communicate. And be honest and sincere.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. Yeah, you have to really over communicate so she'll know and trust. Yes. Here's an example. If a woman calls your house, right? After y'all had healed? After you healed, have you forgave him, and you're giving him this second chance, because you can't give him a second chance without forgiving him. Okay, so after you heal, otherwise you're going to be constantly insecure. So when you give him a second chance and he healed and he proved himself, and so a woman might call your house and say, "Oh yeah, I was with your man last night," and you be like, no, I don't think so. I knew exactly where he was. That he's calling at that time. We're doing video chat. You know what I mean? I went over there just to, you know what I'm saying? We could go extra. I drove past his car is there and nobody else's car. And I know nobody's going to be at his mama's house. So I knew exactly where he was at. So I know you're lying and trying to mess up my relationship. So that's how you have to have that confidence, that if somebody tries to come in your relationship and break up your relationship, you can say, nah, I know where my man is. I know what my man doing. That's what you want. That's what a woman's going to want from a man, that she's so confident that she knows her man is not with another woman, that he's not cheating. That's when you can get your woman back, or you got her back.
Like and subscribe to our channel.
Thank you.